Let's try this again, alright? Fuck. Don't want to do this again. But it is what it is. Alright. Is the microphone on? I think so. Alright. So this is my design program, original design, okay? It's a combination of strong lifts and progressive overload. Alright, so first things first, let's just look at the orange highlighted area. I got squats supersetted with leg curls. Alright. These should be switched around. I like to do my single isolation movements before my compound movements, and that's what I encourage you to do. Alright, same thing here. You got the band pull aparts first, followed up with superset incline bench press. Bent over rows, superset with medicine ball leg lifts and core work. Alright, so make sure you do the superset part first. Alright, now looking down at these crazy looking numbers, alright, probably looks confusing, but I'm gonna make it clear as possible. Alright, so looking at this first number here, okay, this is what your estimated 1 rep max would be. I changed this number, but I'm gonna show you what this number will represent. Alright, I'll just fix it really quick so I can show you exactly what I did. Equals this number times 0.65. So this is 65% of your 1 rep max, or my 1 rep max for squats, okay? So the goal for this program is to not necessarily overload the body, but do enough to stimulate growth, okay? So 65% for 24 reps, 4 sets of 6, right? 6 times 4 is 24, right here. 24 times this number gives me a volume of 6,300 pounds, okay? So if you look further down here, 3 by 8 is still 24. So instead of doing, if I look at this cell, 6 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8 is 28. So you're doing 28 reps here, okay? So over time, if you look at these numbers, I'm trying to encourage more reps. The most amount of sets is going to be 4 sets, but more reps. But it's the weight's going to be the same, okay? So you want to get comfortable with the weight. When you get comfortable with the weight, you know, you're going to be able to get stronger over time. This is like that old man strength, okay? Something I need and probably you'll need one day, old man strength. So if you just look at week 13, 12,000 pounds, 12,600 pounds. Look at week 1, all right? So in a matter of 12, 13 weeks, you're lifting twice as much weight, you know, but the weight isn't going up. And this is a safer method as well, because now you don't worry about lifting this crazy amount of weight. 65% of your 1 rep max isn't a lot of weight, but what happens over time is just the volume changes. So now as you look at here, 4 sets of 10, now you're doing 4 extra reps per set. You know what I'm saying? That's going to definitely help stress the muscles for growth here. And I cap it at 12, because anything beyond 12, you start to lean towards muscular endurance here, okay? So that's the program I got going on right now. Goes to 14 weeks. So I'm going to scroll down some more, okay? So I put this number here, just 225. Say, for example, if you don't feel comfortable just squatting 265 for 6, you know, and I'm going to explain why. But I just put this number here just so I didn't forget, because you can easily go in here and just put this number here, 225. Boom. All right, so that number's changed a little bit, but it's okay because everybody's different. Dates, you know, you want to fill this date in. You know, where that day is that you're working out, that represents this whole column right here, okay? This column is what you're working on, okay? But the reason why this number is being changed a little bit for me is the fact that my rest times are very short. And it will be short for you too if you decide to do this program. This program is designed to really try to emphasize a lower rep max, so the intensity is not as high, but the rest time is relatively short, okay? So if you're just now new to this, or new to like really short rest times, 90 seconds is the max, all right? But optimally, and the goal here would be 30 seconds. So could you imagine if you do like six reps of whatever weight this is and only take 30 seconds and do it again 4 times? It's going to be hard. So, I mean, right now I'm taking 90 seconds, but the goal is to try to get down to 60 seconds, 45 seconds, and down to 30, okay? So, you know, anywhere between 30 and 90 seconds is the goal for reps. All right, I mean, if you want, I'll put it in here so you can see it later, but not for this one. All right, so that goes clear across the map here. Another thing I would like to point out. So now we got 3 sets of 12, okay? I'm gonna click this cell. If you look right here, this is 65% at 3 sets of 12. So then you still want to be progressive with the form of training. So if you look here, it's 75%. So it's 10% increase in weight, right? Now it doesn't have to be the case. You can just drop it to a 5% increase. So instead of 75, you could change this to 70. All right, 70%, 5%. Boom. So now the weight didn't change ridiculously amount. All right, because ideally for hypertrophy and for a combination of muscle and strength gain, you want to be somewhere between 65 and 85%. So this was very progressive. I went 65, 75, 85, just for the purpose of making the template. But you could change this 3 sets of 12 from 65 to 70 to 75, which is more realistic. It just depends on how aggressive you are and what type of shape you're currently in. All right, so that's how this one goes. Same thing goes here as well as here. Okay, so the way I got it set up is just like a regular strong lift setup, where I got squats, I got bench press, but I got two different types of bench press. Today on this one I have incline. All right, so therefore I'm targeting more of the upper pectoralis fibers of the muscle. All right, pec major fibers. All right, so then here I'm doing my bent over rows. I don't have any machines in my basement. It's all free weights, you know, so I'm doing what I can. And you can pretty much manipulate this however you want, but you know, you want to try to keep it consistent. You don't want to miss any muscle groups, just like with strong lifts. You know, it's just the big 3 lifts, but then I try to incorporate other things. Like I have a pretty decent warm up, which I didn't post, but I can if you want me to. But I'd like to talk a little bit about what's going on down here. Okay, so I'm still getting the whole body involved here. All right, so this is my 15-minute finisher. Okay, so I start off with glute bridge. All right, so I'm doing glute bridge by the kettlebell or a dumbbell or whatever, and I'm just on the floor and just contracting my glutes from the floor up, bring my pelvis up high as possible, 10 to 15 reps. So then I move from there to a kettlebell swing, 10 to 15 reps, and then from here I go to a goblet squat and a racked carry position, like a double rack carry position. If you start getting tired, you can just have it hanging below your pelvis area. You can just do goblet squats that way. So you're doing ideally 10 to 15 of all of these with no break. So next, you're going into the back. All right, so say pull-ups, going to be overhand pull-ups. If you can't do the pull-ups yet, lat pull-downs is just fine. Followed up with some overhand body weight rows and then some band pull-downs. You bring the band up from a high position and bring it straight down to target those lats. Think about those lats the whole time, all right? So you're doing what you can here, but I definitely want to see 10 to 15 reps at the body weight rows, okay? And then we have dips. So we go from dips to push-ups to stair push-ups in this order, okay? So we're doing what we can here. So then guess what? That's one cycle. You can go back through and do it again, all right? Try to really limit that break time. Say, for example, if you don't like cardio, this is where you're going to really get your butt kicked, okay? So this is pretty much day 1. I'm going to skip day 2 and come back to it here shortly. I'm going to talk about day 3 just for a second. So day 3 is set up the exact same way as day 1, except there's a couple of different modifications. So this day I'm actually targeting a little bit more deadlift, okay? So for those of you who do not like doing high volume or high amount of reps of deadlifts, you can manipulate these 3, okay? So I just got it. 6 is your most here, 8 is here, and then 8 is here. I don't have no 10. This is all optional for people who don't really care about how many reps they do. So you can kind of just keep manipulating these. So this is 65%, 65%, 65%. So you're looking at that, 65, 65, 65. So then next week, or let me see here, week 1, week 2, week 3. So then you can reset this right here, and you can start from here. Week 4, week 5, week 6. So then it'd be 70, 70, 70, then 75, 75, 75. You know, same thing, whatever. So you get the point. And remember, the supersets, I got them backwards, but ideally you want the superset to do it first. So say, for example, doing the core work and stuff like that to engage it and prepare my spine for deadlifts, even though you shouldn't be lifting with your spine, but you know you want to engage those muscles to support your back with your core. So you do some core work, superset it before you do deadlifts. And obviously you want to warm up before any of these lifts. So whatever you need to do, warm up, maybe 2 warm-up sets prior before you really start lifting kind of heavy, 2 to 3 warm-up sets. All right, so we discussed that. Dates. So like say for example today is May 31st. This is what I'm doing today. All right, this is my goal to do today. Say for example I'm not comfortable with this weight, or I want to bump it up, bump it down. I could change this number here, or I could just put like a little reminder number here. That's what I'm currently working at, or a goal or whatever. So I put asterisks next to all of them. All right. So let me see here. Scrolling down, looking at stuff. Eyes, Y's, T's, and A's. For those of you who do not know what that is, you just basically focusing on rotator cuffs. So like if you're at a hinge position, you're hinging forward a little bit, then you're actually like trying to make an I with your body, Y, T's, and A's with your body. If you don't know what that is, YouTube it. I also introduced some dumbbell rows just to pump that back, get some swelling in that back to really stabilize those shoulders before I bench press. I'm not going ridiculously heavy here, but I'm going heavy enough to where like I want to get the pump going. All right. So in this position, this scenario, you're probably gonna need the whole 90 seconds of recovery time here, just because of the fact that you're doing so much here and you're not taking no real break. Say for example, this superset is almost tied into your recovery time, so you really don't have that much time here. Okay. Anything else I want to say about that one? Nope. Nope. Front squats. Yep. Same thing. Make sure you get them leg curls in first. So I actually, my estimated max for front squat, I don't know. It's heavy, so I don't really never know what it is, but I just put 225 so I can do it. And 146, I know I can do it, so I just bumped it up here. And if this ain't shit, I probably could do 185 for whatever reps, but this is just all intents and purposes of learning how to do it. Okay, so following up with a 15-minute finisher like day one. This is similar, but a little bit different. Okay, this one's a little more, not really strategic, but it targets, it kind of correlates well with what the workout was today. So same thing, glute bridge. Now we're doing a little more posterior chain work, like trying to isolate ipsilateral movements on each side of the body. So glute bridge with kettlebell reverse lunges or dumbbell reverse lunges, whatever you got, and then we do some single leg deadlifts. All right. So what we're going to do with the single leg deadlifts is probably try to alternate a couple, like maybe two on each side or one on each side, not necessarily blow out one side then the other side, but it's up to you. Show world, you do what you want. All right, so now we're on to the back. All right, so now day one we did some overhand. Now we're going neutral grip or underhand. All right, so you still want to keep it tight as possible. I did fail to mention that my bench press, I like try to go a little more narrow grip, just to like target more of the center line of my body. But who knows how long I'll keep up with that. So neutral grip here. Underhand body weight rows, because day one you did overhand, so you want to make sure you get some underhand going on there. And then the band pulls. If you don't have a band, well, ideally you would like to have a band, but if you don't have a band, you could just switch it over to some more dumbbell rows. But the key is just like a 2-2 tempo. You really want to focus on contracting those rhomboids and that middle part of your spine as much as possible through this. Really try to get the back engaged. You should be feeling something from these first two, okay? So then on to the chest. You see day one, we did dips, right? So this day we're doing a little more chest emphasis. So you want to kind of get your chest perpendicular to the ground, and then while you're extending your elbows, you want to kind of use your chest to engage, and then you want to get to like that perpendicular upright position at the top of the movement. Then you got diamond push-ups. I don't know how many you're gonna do here. If you worked hard at this part, you shouldn't be able to do very many. And then followed up with stair push-ups. With the close positioning, okay? So ideally you want to go for 3. If you don't get 3, at least 2 times around. Now that third round, when I say third round, I want you to be creative. I want you to do whatever the hell you want to do, as long as you're getting your whole body engaged. If you want to do some curls, superset with some tricep extensions, with some shoulder flies, some walking lunges, some more leg curls, some knee extensions, some whatever, but I wanted to make sure you get all of it in there, because right now at this point right here, you're not going to have too much left in the tank. If you do, then you wasn't working hard enough. But I think you got this, okay? So day 2, this is really under construction. I really don't have too much involved here. Just focus on what you want to focus on here. Like me, for example, my thing is I want to get better at Olympic lifts, plyometric work. I know I'd get my sprint intervals on and target weak points like posterior chain, rear delts, maybe your neck, flexibility, core. Do something those days, all right? So here's a brief example. I just made this today. It looks kind of funky, I know, but this is June, July, August, September, and this is what I'm going to be doing today. 3.2. This represents the 3rd day of the 2nd week. Okay, so 3.2. I kind of flip-flop here and there. Day 2 is always day 2. So whatever I want to do that day is day 2. Okay. So here you got June 3rd, I have a softball tournament. So that kind of screwed my days up a little bit, but oh well. So then here we go. Day 1, week 3, 1.3, then day 2. Then day 3.3, then day 2. Then day 1, week 4, day 2. Day, I screwed that one up. But it's day 3, week 4, right? Day 1. Okay, you get the picture, okay? So you don't have to do this, but every other day I'm basically trying to just do the program. If I'm off a day, it's fine. This is summertime, of course, everybody want to have fun, stuff like that, but I just want to keep progressing and moving forward here. So we're going to play it by ear and see how it works out. You can stop anytime, or you don't even got to ever start if you don't want to. It's totally up to you. But this pushes me all the way through pretty much September. So I'm gonna try to stick with it as much as possible. I might reassess by like maybe week 9. Let me see what that's looking like. So week 9, 4x10s. Okay, so by then 4x10s, I should be pretty comfortable. I should be almost capable of doing 4x12s at this point with that weight. So say for example, if I'm comfortable with doing it that way, then maybe I'll try to drop it down to straight 30 seconds and just go and see what I can do from there. Okay. So any feedback is definitely appreciated. Now I just got to figure out how to convert this over from this format to something everybody else can actually pick up. Thanks.